Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to check your tire pressure and inflate your tires. Now, I'm using a large air compressor that I have for my irrigation system, but you could use any size air compressor. This is definitely overkill for this task. If you're using a cigarette lighter air compressor, make sure your vehicle's running so that you have enough power to power the air compressor. If you take a look at your tire itself, it tells you a maximum PSI for that model of tire, but that's not the pressure that you want to use because this tire is used on a variety of different vehicles. So you want to know what your vehicle's recommended pressure is. So to do that, let's take a look in the driver's door. Just inside the driver door in the door jamb. And pay attention to the front and rear pressures. In my case, it's the same, but in a lot of cars, it's not the same. So make sure you're looking at the front and rear for your car. In this case, it's 35 PSI. That's what we're gonna target. And if you're a little bit above or below that, it's not a crisis, but for optimal performance and wear, you're gonna wanna target 35 PSI in this case. Let's take off the cap. You want to make sure that there's no cracks on it. There's a gasket inside, just as a precaution. Okay, looks good. When you're putting your tire pressure gauge on there, you want to make sure it's seated evenly or square across that tip. Okay. I'm at 33.1 PSI, so I am a little bit low. Something to keep in mind is if there's a big swing in temperature outside from when you last checked your tires, it's a good idea to check them again because as the temperature swings up or down, it can affect the pressure inside your tire pretty significantly. So it's a good idea to keep tabs on your tire pressure, especially when there's big swings in temperature. So add a little air, check again. Wow, that's pretty close, 34.9. I'm gonna check one more time. Oh, I overdid it, 35.5. All right, so to let air out, I'm just gonna not put it on square. If you don't put it on square, it doesn't seat correctly and it just pushes that little tip in there to release a little bit of pressure. So now I'll check it again. What do you know, 35.0. I'll also point out, you can use different kinds of pressure gauges. This is a stick style one, and everybody's got their own preference. So you find one that works for you, but just notice that it doesn't always result in the same reading. So I think the key is to be consistent. Use the same gauge on all four of your tires so that the relative pressure, whatever the error built into your gauge is, it'll be at least consistent. After you're done inflating the tire, make sure you don't hear any hissing sound coming from around this valve stem. This has happened to me where I inflate the tires, especially in winter when it's icy and snowy and there could be moisture and ice that packs in there. If that happens, you need to make sure this isn't hissing, because if it is, that means there's a slow leak happening just around the valve stem. So you might need to, get a hairdryer or a heat gun or something to melt what's in there so that that valve can properly shut. After letting the air go in, sometimes it doesn't fully close. I don't mean to scare you, this isn't very common, but it's something you need to listen for. After you're done, it should not make any sound. And don't forget to put your cap back on as well. And move on to the next tire. After you've inflated all four of your tires, you've checked the pressure and they're all correct, I'm going to show you an optional step here now. I'm going to measure the tread depth of my tires. So to do that, I've got this device here, a tire tread depth gauge. It reads in increments of 1/32 of an inch. You see about 5/32 of an inch is considered it's time to change your tires. The more tread you have, the better the performance will be, the closer it'll be to its original performance. But the less tread you have, you're going to risk hydroplaning if you don't have these much depth in these long grooves here. So to measure it, you see it has this rod that sticks through it. So I'm going to push the top down all the way, and then as you push this up, it'll measure the depth of the tread wherever you place it. So let me push it all the way down. And first I'll just measure it here. You're going to measure lots of different places. So I've pressed it in, and right there I have about 9.5, 30 seconds. Let me try it more in the middle. Now I'm closer to 10, 30 seconds in the middle. Go to the next one over. Also close to 10. Go all the way to the other side. And I've got just over 10. So it's not low anywhere, but you can tell that at this end of the tire, I am wearing faster than at this end of the tire. So that could be an issue with the alignment. Maybe I need to get an alignment check to see if the wheel is angled correctly, the camber angle of the wheel. But what I'm checking for now as I'm measuring the tire pressure is if you have more wear on the outside and less wear on the inside, then you might be running with underinflated tires. And if you have more wear on the center of the contact patch and less wear on the outer edges of the contact patch, that's a sign that you're running with overinflated tires because there's more contact happening in the middle portion. So that's one reason you want to check your tire pressures regularly. See how they're wearing. If it's very uneven, mine aren't very uneven, they're pretty consistent. I might just need to get an alignment check. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching.